Hey guys, welcome back. Today I'm going to be walking you through how to do an alignment on your car or truck or whatever you have. This can be done in your garage or in your driveway. Save you the money of taking it to an alignment shop, or this is the reason I learned how to do this was I always had really low cars that could never get onto the alignment racks at shops, so I use this method to do the alignment, because the car can be super low. You can still get the alignment done. So there's a couple pros and cons to doing it this way. So I'll walk you through it, and let's get started. So today we'll be doing the alignment on my C6 Corvette, but this method applies to any vehicle. Slight details might be different, but the general method is going to be exactly the same. So this method is what I call the string method. So basically, this method will line string up next to the wheels of the vehicle, make sure the string is parallel, and then we're going to measure the front and back of the wheel off of the string to make sure the wheels are shooting straight forward. So a big downside to this, if you're trying to do some type of performance track alignment where you need negative toe or positive toe on the back or the front, this does perfect zero toe front and rear. So it is possible to put negative toe or positive toe, but you're gonna have to do a lot of math. I've always just ran zero toe. I think if you're getting into that kind of stuff, you might as well be taking it to like a alignment shop or something. So yeah, so first step, well, you want to clean your garage. You don't want all this junk around, because you're going to want some space, because once you get this string set up, you want to make sure you're not stepping on it, tripping on it. You don't want to bump it once you spend a good amount of time getting them perfectly parallel, so you don't want to bump it once you get it set. So make sure you have plenty of room to walk around your vehicle. Yeah, so clean your garage. The next step, you're going to want to jack up your car and break loose the adjustments for your alignment. So on the rear of your vehicle, often this will be very difficult because you don't have like adjustable tow rods, but if you have like a 240 with aftermarket tow rods, it's pretty easy, or an IS300 or something like that, it's pretty easy. I'm honestly not even sure what the back toe adjustment is like on the Corvette, so we'll get under there and check it out. But at least for the front, there is the tow rod adjustment right here. This nut we want to break loose, because often these are frozen, and the way we're going to be working under the car, it's going to be a lot harder to do once we're doing the alignment. So you want to break that free now so it's nice and loose. Use your torch, use your PB blaster, whatever you got to do to get that free. So I'm going to break the fronts free, make them loose, put the wheels back on the car, clean the garage, and check back in. Okay, so while you're doing your alignment, you cannot have your car jacked up in the air. This is why it's important to break all those adjustments free so they're easy to access, because while you're doing your alignment, your suspension has to be compressed. So the way I like to do this, I put it on a couple blocks that gets it up a little bit, and then I can still crawl under here and access the adjustments. Okay, if you have it jacked up to access your adjustments, when you set it back down, everything's going to change. It's not going to work. So you have to have it resting with gravity on the suspension. So get some blocks. If you need more space, you can stack more blocks, but this is about all I need to get it. So guys, on the Corvette C6 and the C5 is probably the same, but they actually have a rear toe adjustment right here. So that's really nice. A lot of cars, you got to buy adjustable tow rods for the rear, or you got to adjust that like eccentric bolt. But for these, it'll be easy. So a lot of times though, you only have to do the alignment on the front anyway. So do what you got to do, but I'm going to walk you through the alignment here. And if you have any questions, put them in the comments. I'll try to help out. So Alright guys, you don't need a lot of tools to do this. The one thing you definitely need is string. So as you can see here, I got my string. I set it up roughly. I still need to adjust it. I'll go through that here in a second. You'll need a tape measure, and I like to use a calipers. You don't have to use this. You can just use a tape measure for everything, but the calipers makes it a little easier when you're setting your adjustment. So yeah, so well, and you're also going to need 4 things to put at the corner. I used to use jack stands to wrap the string around, but actually now I like to use folding chairs. And then if you see, I just wrap the string around the same spot on the folding chair so that I have a specific spot, and then if I need to adjust it, I just shift the chair out slightly. So you want to string up your string so that it's running down the side of the car, okay, close to the wheels, but not actually touching the wheel. We're going to adjust this soon here. You don't want to see that's touching there. That's no good. So we're going to shift the chair a hair this way. So now it's not touching. You do want it nice and close though. The closer the better. It makes it easier to measure. And now the key here is to get these strings perfectly parallel. So we're going to measure across from this string here over to this string. And we're going to make sure it's exactly the same distance as the back so that we know they're parallel. And then we also need to measure from the center of the wheel out to the string to make sure this distance is the same on this side as it is on the other side. And if it's not, then you shift both chairs a hair this way or both chairs a hair that way. The front, same deal. You want to make sure the distance between the string, once you're doing this, you're not going to bump it, but you're going to make sure that distance is the same on both sides, and then adjust it as needed. That gap between the string and the center hub in the front is going to be different than the gap in the back because the offsets of your wheels are different. But you just have to make sure that from the left side in the back to the right side in the back, they're identical. The left side in the front to the right side in the front, they're identical. And then your distances between the strings are also the same. So this part takes some time. You're gonna adjust it. You're gonna tap the chair over a hair. You're gonna measure again. You're gonna walk to the other side, measure, remeasure, move, measure. It's a lot of over and over until everything is just right. Then you can do your alignment. So this can definitely be done with one person, but it's definitely easier and it's better to get, you can get a better, more accurate alignment with 2 people. So somebody can hold your end of your tape measure here. So right here, I'm hooking on the string. Okay, just don't want to pull too hard to throw it off. All right, 73 inches. Now we're gonna go to the front. I've been adjusting this a little bit, so should be pretty close here. Okay, 73 inches. So our strings are parallel. Now we're just gonna make sure the car's parallel. So if you look, what do we got? 1 inch and 5/8. And on this side, 1 inch and 5/8. So we're good. Over here, this one's I'm doing a little different because I'm missing a center cap. We're at just a hair over 1.5 inches. Also be very careful. Don't bump your chairs or your string when you got her all set up. You'll be starting over. And over here, this is a little bit over. So we're gonna shift this chair in just a hair. This is the process that you go through, okay? Then you gotta recheck that they're parallel, shift them both in again if you need to. All right, so once you get them set up, so they're parallel, both sides, not touching the tire. Then we're ready to start the adjustment. All right, now to adjust your toe, since everything's in parallel, this would be adjusting it to a 0 toe. I like to use the calipers. You can do this with a tape measure. I just found this to be a little more accurate. Then I like to use the bottom of the calipers off the back of the wheel. It's hard to do while filming, but I'll try here. Get that set. Oh, first, make sure your steering wheel is centered. If it's not, you're gonna get a 0 alignment with your steering wheel off center. So my steering wheel is centered, but make sure yours is too. All right, so that's just about to touch the string. Okay, take her to the front. Now you can see it's hitting the string before it hits the wheel. So we need to adjust this one out. When you're adjusting the front, every time you adjust your tie rod, and then before you go to recheck your measurement here, you're gonna wanna check your steering wheel. Now you can see my steering wheel is a little crooked now. Real alignment racks have little plates that allow the front wheel to swivel. What'll happen while you're adjusting it, it's actually gonna turn the wheel rather than the tire. So it won't be that accurate unless you make sure your steering wheel is still straight. So make sure you adjust that and then check it again. All right, so you know you're done with the side when your steering wheel's straight. And you go to measure it. Okay. And it's the same, okay? So that's how you check. All right, guys, so you're gonna go back and forth. Check your measurements over and over. If you bump your string, bump your chair, whatever you're using for the corner, you're gonna have to readjust it. Remember, side to side in the front, or the back, and side to side in the front, they need to be identical. Your distance off the centers from side to side have to be identical. And then you're gonna adjust it so your gaps from the front of the back of the wheel to the front of the wheel are the same. Doesn't matter what distance this is. As long as it's the same here and the same here, then your alignment's good. The more effort you put into getting that right and getting those dimensions close, adjusting things, the better your alignment's gonna be. You can do a real quick alignment, just get it rough, it'll be close. If you spend the time, make sure the strings are set out right, make sure you're getting good dimensions off of everything, make sure you're measuring off of the same spot on the wheel on both sides, your alignment will turn out nice. So this is how you do a string alignment for free. Takes about an hour, maybe 2, but you save yourself 80 bucks. Plus if your car's low, you can actually get an alignment. So thanks for watching. Let me know if you have any questions. Comment, share, like, whatever you want to do. And yeah, thanks.